In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on December 10, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Miami, Florida versus Tennessee. The Miami Hurricanes and the Tennessee Volunteers will face off in a highly anticipated matchup on Tuesday night in the annual Jimmy V Classic at the iconic Madison Square Garden in New York City. The Hurricanes have had a challenging start to their season, holding a disappointing record of 3-6. Meanwhile, the Volunteers have dominated early competition, entering this game as the top-ranked team in the nation with an unblemished 8-0 record, just ahead of the beginning of their Southeastern Conference schedule. This exciting contest will take place within the historic Madison Square Garden as part of the prestigious Jimmy V Classic. Tuesday's game marks the 5th meeting between these two programs, with their last encounter occurring in 1996. Tennessee holds a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. The Volunteers have earned their place as the top team in the country, as reflected in the most recent Associated Press poll, while Miami has struggled as one of the weakest teams from a Power 5 conference. Tennessee's dominance is evident not only in their undefeated record, but also in their remarkable 7-1 performance against the spread this season. Conversely, Miami has failed to cover in all but 2 of their games, posting a dismal 2-7 against the spread and enduring a 6-game losing streak since November 21st. Tennessee's offensive firepower should present significant challenges for a Miami defense that is ranked 184th nationally in points allowed per game. Advanced metrics from Ken Palm highlight Tennessee's efficiency, with the Volunteers ranked first in 2-point percentage, second in effective field goal percentage, and 9th in adjusted offensive efficiency. In comparison, Miami's defense falls outside the top 250 in these metrics, which could result in a difficult night for the Hurricanes. Miami enters this game amid a 6-game losing streak and has struggled mightily against other Power 5 teams, going 0-3 in such matchups. Tennessee, on the other hand, boasts an 8-0 overall record and a perfect 4-0 record against Power 5 opponents. The Hurricanes have been particularly weak in field goal defense, ranking an abysmal 254th nationally, a troubling statistic as they prepare to face a Tennessee squad that leads the nation in field goal shooting. Tennessee's balanced dominance extends to both ends of the court, with the team ranked in the top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. When shots don't fall, the Volunteers excel at rebounding, ranking 57th in the nation, while Miami lags behind, ranking in the bottom third for total rebounds. Furthermore, the Hurricanes struggle to defend the perimeter, ranking near the bottom nationally in 3-point defense. This mismatch means Tennessee will likely capitalize on open looks and dominate the offensive glass when necessary. The Volunteers' success extends to betting performance as well, with a 7-1 record against the spread this season and a perfect 2-0 record in games played on neutral courts. Tennessee has been particularly effective against Atlantic Coast Conference opponents, going 3-0 straight up with an impressive average margin of victory of 23 points per game. This includes a decisive 22-point victory over Virginia, a team rated more highly than Miami and preseason Atlantic Coast Conference projections. The Hurricanes have struggled against Atlantic Coast Conference competition, already dropping their conference opener. With Miami in the midst of a 6-game skid, this matchup against a top-ranked, well-rounded Tennessee squad is far from ideal. Tennessee's potent offense, combined with Miami's porous defense, gives the Volunteers a substantial edge in this contest. So the Tennessee Volunteers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Neither the Hurricanes nor the Volunteers are known for their offensive explosiveness, and the combined over record for the two teams this season is a modest 9-8. While Ken Palm ranks Tennessee 9th nationally in adjusted offensive efficiency, the team's tempo is ranked a lowly 282nd. The Volunteers prioritize ball movement and patience, seeking the highest percentage shots. Against Virginia's vaunted defense, which ranks second in the Atlantic Coast Conference, Tennessee scored just 66 points while holding the Cavaliers to a mere 44. In fact, Tennessee has scored 78 points or fewer in 3 of their last 4 games and in half of their matchups this season. Miami, coming off its worst offensive performance of the season, now faces an even tougher defensive challenge in Tennessee. During their 6-game losing streak, the Hurricanes have scored 74 points or fewer in 5 games. While Miami's offense ranks 27th in adjusted efficiency, their lack of tempo makes high-scoring games unlikely. Defensively, Tennessee allows just over 55 points per game, ranking second nationally in scoring defense. Their 3-point defense is equally strong, ranked 13th in the country, neutralizing one of Miami's few offensive strengths. Both teams play at a deliberate pace, ranking near the bottom of the NCAA in tempo, and neither will look to push the pace. Tennessee thrives in this slow, methodical style, leveraging their dominance on the boards and creating high-quality offensive opportunities. Given the low tempo and defensive strength of the Volunteers, the total score is likely to stay under the projected number, making under the projected total our full game total pick. Troy versus Houston. The Troy Trojans, boasting a 5-3 record, aim to secure their second straight road victory when they face the Houston Cougars, who also hold a 5-3 record. This intriguing matchup is set to take place on Tuesday night at the Fertitta Center. Troy enters the game on a high note, following an impressive 84-74 victory over Eastern Kentucky despite being 9-point underdogs. Conversely, Houston comes off a commanding 79-51 win over Butler, where they dominated as 17-point favorites. These teams have only met once before, with Houston claiming victory in their 2009 clash. The Cougars have established a strong home court advantage, winning their last 4 games at the Fertitta Center, while the Trojans have been inconsistent on the road, splitting their previous 4 away games. Houston has a distinct advantage in this contest due to their sharpshooting at home, where they convert over 50% of their field goal and 3-point attempts. Additionally, they are a superior rebounding team, averaging more than 12 offensive boards per game, which translates to extra scoring opportunities. The Cougars also excel in ball control, averaging fewer than 10 turnovers per game, minimizing easy scoring chances for their opponents. This is especially troubling for the Trojans, who struggle with turnovers on the road, averaging over 18 per game, while Houston capitalizes on such mistakes with over 11 steals per game. Defensively, Troy has been lackluster, allowing an average of over 72 points in their last 3 outings, which could make it extremely challenging for them to slow down the high-powered Cougars offense. Analyzing the team's performances so far, it's difficult to envision a realistic scenario in which the Trojans can secure a victory. Houston's dominance in key areas, where Troy has consistently faltered, suggests a lopsided affair. If current turnover trends persist, the Cougars may not need an exceptional shooting performance to establish a commanding lead, potentially exceeding 25 points. Historically, the trends support Houston. The Cougars have covered the spread in their 4 largest lines this season, while Troy is 0-2 against the spread as an underdog. For this game, the Houston Cougars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. On the point total, Houston's recent games have leaned toward the under, with 4 of their last 5 contests falling short of the projected total. The Cougars average 79 points per game and play at a slower tempo, ranking 313th nationally with 67.8 possessions per game. Meanwhile, the Trojans average 74 points per game and play at a faster pace, ranking 171st with 71.5 possessions per game. However, Houston's suffocating home defense, allowing just 45 points per game, could stifle Troy's offense, which has averaged 68 points per game on the road. The over has been more common in Houston's matchups against ranked opponents, but in their other games, the under has prevailed in 4 of 5 contests. Notably, the Cougars have not allowed more than 54 points in any victory this season. If they hold Troy to 54 points and win by 26, they would cover the spread and barely hit the over. On the other hand, while Troy has scored over 80 points in 3 of their last 4 games, they managed only 49 points when facing Arkansas, a ranked opponent. Houston demonstrated their defensive prowess earlier this season against Auburn, who ranks 2nd in the AP Top 25 and 7th in field goal percentage. Auburn was held to their lowest point total of the season against the Cougars. Taking all factors into account, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Wisconsin versus Illinois. It's an exciting Big Ten matchup on the hardwood as two teams clash in search of a much-needed victory in the state of Illinois. The number 20 Wisconsin Badgers are set to hit the road and face off against the Illinois Fighting Illini on Tuesday evening. In their previous game, Wisconsin suffered a tough 88-74 defeat on the road at the hands of number 5 Marquette, failing to cover the spread as a 6.5-point underdog. This loss came just a few days ago on Saturday. Meanwhile, Illinois also faced a setback, falling 70-66 in an overtime thriller against Northwestern on the road on Friday night, losing outright as a 3-point favorite. Historically, Illinois has dominated this rivalry, owning a 118-89 advantage in the all-time series. The Fighting Illini have also won the last 8 matchups between the two teams, with the most recent victory being a 93-87 win in the Big Ten tournament on March 17, 2024, in Minneapolis. This game marks the second conference matchup for both teams after starting their league schedules with losses. Wisconsin couldn't defend their home court last Tuesday when they lost to Michigan, while Illinois dropped a heartbreaker in overtime to Northwestern on the road last Friday. This is a critical game for both squads, as a loss would put them at 0-2 in conference play, making this a must-win contest for both. Given Illinois' recent success and their home court advantage, we anticipate the Fighting Illini will come out on top in this one. The current spread is set at Illinois minus 7.5 points, and we believe that's a solid pick for the game. Playing at home gives Illinois a significant edge, and their recent track record against Wisconsin only strengthens their position. The Fighting Illini have been dominant over the Badgers, winning and covering the spread in their last 8 meetings, including 2 games played at home with spreads of 6.5 points or more. Illinois has been playing better than expected on the defensive side of the ball, and this could be the key difference maker in this matchup. They currently rank 20th in the nation in opponent points per game, and their defense has been especially tough against 3-point shooting. Illinois is ranked 5th nationally in opposing 3-point percentage, while Wisconsin is significantly weaker in that area, ranking 122nd in 3-point shooting percentage. In their recent game against Michigan, Wisconsin struggled from beyond the arc, shooting just 22.2% from 3, and that could present another challenge for them here. The current spread feels like a reasonable assessment for this game. Essentially, it's asking whether Illinois can secure a 2-possession victory at home against a tough Big Ten opponent in Wisconsin. While both teams are capable, the deciding factor could come down to Illinois' ability to maintain their defensive dominance while stretching their lead over the Badgers. One key statistic that stands out in this matchup is Illinois' superiority on the boards. The Fighting Illini are currently the top rebounding team in the country, grabbing an impressive 43.8 rebounds per game, leading the nation in this category. Their rebound rate of 58.3% ranks 4th in the country, showing their relentless work on the glass. Wisconsin will be facing a tough challenge in a hostile environment, which could negatively affect their shooting performance. If the Badgers struggle to control the rebounds, it's easy to envision how the game could quickly slip away from them. Both teams have been relatively solid offensively this season, but Wisconsin has a notable advantage when it comes to free throw shooting, which could prove crucial in a close contest. Illinois, on the other hand, excels at controlling the glass, and this will be a critical factor for Wisconsin to try to overcome. The Fighting Illini also boast a very strong defensive game, forcing opponents to work for every point, which could create significant challenges for the Badgers on offense. With home court advantage, their strong rebounding, and stifling defense, the Illinois Fighting Illini to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When it comes to totals, Wisconsin has seen the over hit in 8 of their 10 games this season, posting an 8-2 mark against the total. The Badgers rank 88th in defensive efficiency, 96th in effective field goal percentage defense, and 246th in the nation at forcing turnovers, only generating turnovers on 16.3% of their opponents' possessions. Offensively, Wisconsin is fairly average, ranking 194th in adjusted tempo according to Ken Palm with 67.9 possessions per game. On the other hand, Illinois has seen the under hit in 5 of their 8 games this season, showing a tendency to keep games low scoring. The Fighting Illini are currently ranked 28th in offensive efficiency, 17th in defensive efficiency, and 85th in effective field goal percentage. Defensively, they are exceptional, ranking 1st in the country in effective field goal percentage defense and 4th in 3-point defense. They are also strong in 2-point defense, ranking 16th in the nation at 42%. Illinois plays at a fast pace, ranking 39th in adjusted tempo with 71.2 possessions per game. Given Illinois' defensive prowess and the pace they play, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.